Lutfi Sebi, wow. It's a long answer, but I'll be brief. Lutfi Sebi is a Tunisian first, American second. I always say my heart is Tunisian, my brain is American. So I am now back living in Tunis. I have been to the United States for the last 32 years. I've done many things there. I went to school, I opened businesses, I closed businesses, I have a son that lives in Boston, but today, right now, this year, I'm a Tunisian 100% because of the recent events in Tunisia. It's an opportunity of a lifetime, and I could not miss it for the world. So Lutfi Sebi is here to participate and help propel the revolution to new dimensions. Oh, in a very quick nutshell, I majored in applied mathematics, so I have a degree in applied mathematics. Then I went to Harvard from the University of Massachusetts in Boston. I went to Harvard University. I got a master's degree in applied management and operations. Focus was on leadership and entrepreneurship. Which is really timely and opportune because those are the areas that we need to develop here in Tunisia during this new Tunisia. Term leadership is a new term, so we have to explain the process of creating leaders among the youth of Tunisia. Entrepreneurship is an esprit of entrepreneurship that has not existed before because Tunisians were not encouraged to think on their own and begin their own enterprises, small and big. And so my objective really right now is to work with the young Tunisians, especially the ones that are out of school, out of universities, and who are looking for someone to give them a hand, and that someone generally has been the government, while the government no longer is in the business of providing jobs because the government mentally, intellectually, and financially is bankrupt. So we have to teach the young Tunisians how to think of their own, create their own enterprises, begin small, think big, and have a dream and follow their dream. So that's really what I'm here to do more than anything else. There's a big problem with the disparity between the regions in Tunisia. I have just recently finished a tour. I did about 15 universities in about 12 gouvernorats in Tunisia. For me personally, it is nothing new. I've been aware of this since the 70s. Most Tunisians today are surprised about this inequality and social injustice. I grew up in the gouverneur of Sidi Bouzid, so I spent the first 15 years of my life in Jilna, which is a small delegation in the gouverneur of Sidi Bouzid. So, in my opinion, there have been, and I have known, thousands of Mohamed Bouazizis. The difference is they were sane, they did not burn themselves. But unfortunately, it took an act of heroism to bring attention to that. But people of those regions, Qasrin, Sidi Bouzid, Tel, all the way Kef, Jandouba, have always suffered of this social inequality. And I hope that we are aware now of what social equality means and what we need to do as a new government. So I am hoping that the new government, along with the awareness of the people themselves, combined together would create some equality and opportunities, especially and awareness. And so that, in my opinion, we need to begin with decentralizing the decision making from the in the fiscal sense, in that we can't sit here in Tunis and decide, okay, Gouvernorat of Sidi Bouzid needs 10 million dinars to spend in 2011, when we have no idea what it means to be from the Gouvernorat of Sidi Bouzid. We have no idea what their issues are. So we need to empower these people to make their own decisions. They can decide where to spend the money. Someone who has never been to Sidi Bouzid, a minister, and I know quite a few, they're the ones right now deciding where that money gets spent, whether in industry or agriculture. That is wrong, and that needs to change. And hopefully that awareness and this unfortunate act and the revolution all lead to lots of awareness and participation on the part of the local citizens. They need to participate, they need to take an active role and become less passive, because it is the only way that they can accomplish, and we can accomplish together, that social and economic equality between the regions of Tunisia. The organization, it's an association, it's called Jeunes Démocrates Tunisiens. It's got about 7,000 active members today. It has about 12 regional offices. The young men who adhere to the mission are very active. The mission is essentially to educate the young Tunisian. When I say young, I don't mean young in age, young in democratic thinking, and we are all young in Tunisia in democratic thinking. Educate them into as to their responsibility as citizens. What do they need to do for this revolution to move along? Because I personally don't believe we've accomplished anything yet. All we've done is throw some guy out, but the roots of the problem are still here. And some of those roots are in other individuals, and some of those roots are in the institutions that have existed for 30, 40 years. But we have to admit that some of it is in our way of thinking. So the Jeunes Démocrates Tunisiens as an association is to change the way we think about ourselves, about our situation, and draw a plan so that we can follow that plan to success. I have just returned from the States only the day before yesterday, and there was a similar question being asked, and my answer is the West needs to demonstrate to the Arab world, and specifically the Muslim world, that it is not being hypocritical about its interest in peace and democracy. The Arab world in general, the Muslim world specifically, looks to the West and to Europe with an eye of skepticism. They're not quite sure to trust them or not. So what the West needs, whether it's government agencies, private organizations, NGOs, they need to demonstrate their true intentions are for democracy. Because democracy to the West is an investment in the future. And when that investment will give an ROI, a return on that investment, a positive ROI, would be peace and democracy. Because otherwise, the other alternative is the West spending billions and billions of dollars on armament and killing people throughout, and wars, which is 100,000 times more than the investment that it would put in place if it was just to introduce and facilitate democracy, and to facilitate and to demonstrate that its interests are also the interests of the local Arabs and Muslim countries.
Dr. Saidi, thank you very much.
My pleasure.